What's up, guys and girls? James Hunter here of the Florida International Group of MVP Realty and the co-creator of the Figu.com. Figu.com is an e-learning online commercial course that myself and my business partner put together to help residential agents that are trying to get into commercial real estate really understand what they're doing, and then also first-time investors that are trying to get into commercial transactions, to helping them to do more transactions and understanding the commercial real estate world. Today, I'm going to be talking about the different assets of the classifications that investors will look at from the asset class and the geographic area location. And these two things are very important because a lot of investors will look at both of these, but all investors look at things differently. But I will show you kind of how things go hand in hand today in this video. So let's get started. Classifications of assets typically are going to go from A to D. A being your prime location with the most amenities. It's going to typically be new construction, or when you're looking in a retail center, it's going to be a highly up-to-date center with a Class A anchor tenant in there. So that's a Class A. When you're looking at Class D, that's completely on the other side of the ram. You're basically looking at a property that's not so much good, but maybe or doesn't have some upgrading capability to get that from a D to a C or a D to a B. Typically, you're not going to be able to take a D property and get it to a B or A property over time, just because you're typically in a different geographic area that really doesn't have the growth or doesn't have the expertise or ability to expand. So that's the assets. When you're looking at geographical areas, A is going to be your upgraded areas in the geographic area in the city. They've already got a lot of the area built out. There's really not a lot of expansion. Sometimes it's very overcrowded. D, on the other hand, is an area that's really run down. Typically, it's not going to have a lot of growth. But when you're looking at maybe C area, this is really an area a lot of the investors are actually looking into, because the C geographic area is going to be an area that basically is up and coming, that if they bought in this area now, they're going to get it at a discounted rate or a discounted price, where they can see, okay, there's going to be some growth opportunity in this area. So maybe it goes from a C to a B, or maybe a C to an A. We see this in a lot of cities, outgrowing areas, the outer areas of the city, that basically there's some expansion going from outside in the middle of the city out to the outer areas, and there's seeing expansion going out there. So those are the different classifications of when you're looking at geographic areas. These are very important. So let's just say you as an investor, and a lot of times they're going to look at it like this, is you're always going to look at some asset that really you can buy at a good rate and build upon that, or increase rents, build it out, increase the asset. And what you're doing is you're taking this classification of asset at a C level and maybe increasing it to a B or an A in an area that really is having some growth potential. And then what you can do from that standpoint is actually grow the rents or increase their rents, versus which basically is giving you a great value add, which basically is increasing the property value at that time. Sometimes a lot of real estate investors are looking at a C classification geographic area. They're looking at a C asset, and what they're doing is trying to say, okay, I can basically improve this asset over time. The area is actually up and coming and growing, and then you're increasing the rents, increasing the value of the property as that area continues to grow. We're seeing this a lot in Miami, the outer skirts of Miami. At one time, let's just say, for instance, at one time, the area where you have all the artsy area, a lot of people didn't even want to invest there, but now it's like the most up and coming area in Miami. And then you're starting to see from people going from South Beach over the bridge to these up and coming areas, and you'll see the growth patterns go throughout, which that'll increase value, increase density, and increase overall value of those properties out in those areas. These are things that you want to look at from an investor standpoint. You want to understand this from a residential aspect, because when you're talking to your investor, you really want to understand, one, what's the area now? Number two, what do you see coming in that area? What's the potential coming in that area? And three, what is the city and local government's growth plans in that area over the next 5 to 10 years? These are very important. These are things that investors are going to look at, and these are things that you should look at as a residential agent. If you want to know more about this, reach out to us at the Florida International Group of MVP Realty, and also take a look at our online course at the FigU course on YouTube. Check it out, guys. We'd love to have you. Give us a call if we can ever help you out. 239-210-8973. Have a great day.